I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us.
Man, this is one of those situations where both parents are working and she's doing quote unquote probably all of the motherly duties and he's likely doing all the fatherly duties. And just to give her like some bail, sure, in extreme situations, if the father is not contributing to the daily upkeep of the kids, it probably can feel overbearing. And you tack that on with 4 kids, it may be a lot. But let's continue to hear her out.
About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay.
Yo, I've been in this situation, guys. If you don't know, I was married for, 7 years with the same person for 10. And I do have a daughter. And I remember when my ex was like, hey, I need you to help more. And I asked her, hey, what do you want specifically? And at one point she was like, you should just know. I'm like, look, I'm not a mind reader. What is it you need help with? What is it you want help with? It was more so just getting my daughter breakfast in the morning and doing the dishes every now and then. And I was like, oh, okay, this is possible. All right. And it worked for a little bit, but obviously I ended up divorced.
Okay. Something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he's
chastising her husband because he forgot. And like when you first start taking more of a role in doing like the chores, because what we're talking about is chores. When you haven't been doing it for God knows how long, at least 4 years with the 4 kids, you're going to forget. There's going to be a curve to like, oh, I got to remember to do something that I haven't been doing for the last 4 years or however long they've been married. I mean, she said like 19 years or something. So she called him to chastise him about not taking out the trash.
He said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me.
And that's why I am divorced. Because of that realization, like, oh, well, I'm doing all this by myself and I wanted help. Well, what are you here for? She realized she would rather just do it alone. Um, and I understand that women can feel that way, but sometimes you got to give your husbands a little bit of grace. And to throw away a 19-year marriage over someone not doing the chores and you feeling like they don't see you or respect you because the trash is running over and he said, hey, I was running late for work. Not, hey, I don't care what you say. I'm not taking out the trash or anything like that. It seems like a just genuine mistake, but for her, it's amplified. For her, it's disrespect. For her, she's invisible.
And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms.
Protect and provide is the bar for dads. I'm not, a lot of people say, well, let's change roles. Let me cut the grass. Let you do all the getting the kids ready for school. And then they do that and they realize they much rather get the kids ready for school than take out the trash or cut the grass. And we just have different gender roles. And I know that's probably going to trigger a lot of people. But that's just the way society is.
We fell into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to.
And not just society. I think marriages work better when gender roles are clearly defined and exercised by both people as they contribute to the marriage in their own different, unique way.
And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever. Our kids are thriving. Our home runs like a well-oiled machine. And that took a lot of work. I want to say it took like 18 months to get there.
But she was about to divorce him for not taking out the trash. And this is a throwaway, a 19-year marriage because he didn't take out the trash and she felt disrespected. And there's nothing that could prepare men for that, as there really is no recourse. Like, oh, what happened? One day, I forgot to take out the trash because I was running late for work. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back of my 19-year marriage. And now my kids are living in separate homes and, child support, alimony, the financial toll of divorce because I forgot to take out the trash on a day I was running late for work. And my wife just was like, that's it. What do you tell men? And you see women like this on the internet all the time. I've covered videos of women saying it's okay to divorce the good guy. And here you do have another woman saying, I was thinking about divorcing the good guy, but they did the work, probably like some type of marriage counseling. That's usually what it is. I went to marriage counseling. I don't advise it. Typically what it is someone trying to, well, in my instance, someone trying to get another party to take their side and say that they're right and validate them. And in a way, try to use that validation to control you. But here you have it. Hey, I was about to divorce the good guy because he wouldn't take out the trash.
And it was well worth it. But it is not uncommon. And so if your wife is coming to you and she's saying, I'm burnt out by the mental load and I need you to do more, she's not just saying that because she wants you to do more chores. She's saying that because truly it can hurt your relationship. It can ruin your marriage if you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf.
Usually men are out earning a living. Typically more that may require a little bit more stress, a little bit more stressful job. And a lot of people think it's like apples to apples. We work, you go to work, I go to work. Sometimes it's not like that. In many dynamics, men work more like outside of the house to provide the comfy lifestyle that she has benefited from, as well as her contributions to caring for the kids.
For example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this dynamic.
I mean, my major takeaways is, hey, divorce can happen at any time for any reason. And that's something you need to be on guard from. But, you know, I'll give her this. Her talking about communication and expectations with invisible work, you know, those conversations do need to be had. But sometimes, you know, expectations could be unrealistic and you have to temper those expectations. So if, you know, dad got to be at work earlier than mom, which is what it sounds like, then he will have to wake up a little earlier to make these contributions. And that could, you know, hinder his performance at work. Sometimes hiring a third party, hiring a nanny to come in or a cleaning service to come in to do those dishes and clean those bottles can save a marriage. But hey, what do you know? I'm divorced. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'll see you next video. Peace.